my name is Olivia, and welcome to Bookish. Today I'm with my friend Grace. She's in my book club. Grace, do you want to introduce yourself and the fun bookstagram that you have?
Yeah, hi, my name is Grace. I'm so happy to be here. I also have a bookstagram. It's called currently.overbooked if you want to go give it a follow.
Yeah, you should definitely go follow that. She posts a lot of cool stuff. Is there a current read that you have right now?
I am currently reading, this is going to be controversial already, 3 seconds into the podcast. I'm reading Haunting Adeline by H.D. Carlton.
I think I have heard a lot of mixed things about that, but I haven't read that yet.
I never really wanted to read it until I watched Larry Reed's, her vlog of the duology. And I was like, maybe I will give it a read because it's just vibes. It's just pure vibes.
Yeah, so because Grace and I both have read a lot of the same books, we're going to play a little game today, like usual, where we're going to guess 1-star. We're going to read each other 1-star reviews and then try to guess what that book is. And so a lot of these books are like we either have the same. I try to pick ones that we either had the same 5-star or something, or it's like I had 1 star and you had 5 or vice versa. So if you want, you can start yours first. You can read your first quote and I'll try and guess.
Okay. The first quote is, "I did not get the hype. They just danced on ice." And then there's a gif of Ryan from The Office looking very uncomfortable.
Is that from Look Off with Love?
Yeah.
Because I was looking at that one too. I was looking at that same one where, so from Look Off with Love is a book by Mariana Zapata. She's like last time I talked about her, she's a sports romance writer. And a lot of people were saying the same stuff when I was looking at her reviews of like people that hated that book. They're all saying she was whiny. They were all saying like that he was mean and that she like was all this stuff. I don't know. But
the main consensus I saw was people said that it was boring.
Really?
And I didn't think it was boring at all because I don't like slow burn. Mariana Zapata is like the queen of slow burns. And I was just eating it up. I was eating up every like little glance, every little like tremble. I loved it. I don't get it.
Okay, so then you might be able to guess this quote that I
okay.
It's "It is so bad, I want to give you a 0, but that's not possible, so I give you a 1. The main character is a 26-year-old acting like a bratty 13-year-old whose only personality trait is that she's 5'3" and who likes to yell at children half her age, but refuses to acknowledge that she has an attitude problem."
Oh, I have no clue.
Really?
I have no clue.
Okay,
Give me a hint.
So she's 26 years old. She's 5'3". I'm trying to think of other stuff. It's a book you've read. It's also by Mariana Zapata.
I've only read one. So it's from Look Up with Love.
Yeah.
I've only read that one.
I was like, you might get this one because I had been looking up like all of the reviews for that one too. But I don't know. Did you like that one overall? What did you rate
I
that?
rated it a 5-star.
I think I did too. I think that's why I picked it.
It was so good.
I remember reading that one. I was on vacation in Florida and I read that in like one sitting. That was like the best slow burn I had read in a while. And some parts were slow, but like I liked them together.
I just liked like the anticipation, the like build up. It was just so good.
He was so like, he was very kind of like mean at first, and he called her like meatball, and I think she was self-conscious about her weight and stuff. And he called her meatball. I think that was like a big criticism of it, which it was revealed later. He was like, I didn't mean it like that. I was just calling you a name. But I think that was a big criticism, and people are also like, it's not accurate to ice skating, which I wouldn't know the difference. How am I supposed to know? Like, but okay, yeah. So I guess we had the same one. Hopefully we don't have the same one.
Oh, yeah, I'm worried about that because I took only your 5-star reads.
Okay, I didn't for you, so it might be different. Okay, you can read the next one then.
Okay. This says, 1 star for making me read the weirdest forking smut.
How am I supposed to get that? Oh, I don't know. Give me another hint.
I will say this is the second book in the series.
Is it like A Court of Mist and Fury?
Yeah.
By Sarah J. Maas. Oh my god. I read that back in 2020. That was one of the first books I had read when I was getting back into reading. You read that recently, didn't you?
I read it recently. Yeah. I want to say like in July.
What did you rate it?
I think a 5. I think it was a 5. It might have been a 4.5.
I wish that Goodreads would let you rate like more
Half.
5. Yeah,
Yeah.
more half, because a lot of them are half, and I'm like, well, now I have to round, and it doesn't feel the same.
Well, I used to do like intense reviews. I'd be
Yeah?
like 3.75,
Oh
blah,
my
blah, 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 blah.
God.
And then I just got lazy. I don't even put my ratings in it anymore. I don't know if you noticed,
Yeah, I
but I
saw
don't do
some.
that anymore. The other thing, just Goodreads rant, it looks like it's from like 2008. It makes me so upset.
Some of the stuff you click, it's like when it like looks all techy, you know, like I use like some of their websites with the cis whatever planner thing. It looks like it's so old, like from the 90s. Like I don't even know what the 90s tech looks like, but it looks like that. Goodreads, I think, has gotten better, but I don't know.
She needs an update.
I
Goodreads people, if you're listening, which you're probably not, please give us an update. We want one.
She sorry, going back to Sarah J. Maas. Sorry, that was just like a total. She is recently coming out with like a new book about. It's like the fourth one of the series.
No, it's Crescent City, I think.
But like she's gonna come out with another one, right, for the end of the series. I think it's with Azriel.
Oh, she's coming out with like 3 more books for A Court of Thorns and Roses. She's coming out with Azriel and Elaine's book, a novella, and then another book, I think. I'm almost certain. Coming 2025.
I wonder who that one's going to be. Like, the next one is obviously going to be about Azriel and Elaine. Or I think it's going to be Azriel and Gwen.
No.
Are you team Ariel?
I want Elaine and Azriel to get together. I just love it. And I don't care about the bonus chapter. Everyone's like, the bonus chapter, blah, blah, blah. No.
She totally sets it up to be with, because he literally, like, okay, if you haven't read it, spoiler, last time I didn't say any spoiler warning before I said anything at all. So, like, but at the end, it's like in the bonus chapter, Azriel gives Elaine some little gift or a necklace or something.
And they almost kiss.
And then Rhysand barges in and is like, don't do that. Don't mess with her. And then he gives the gift to Gwen. Is it Gwen or Gwyn?
Yeah, it's Gwen. I don't know how to say her name.
I think it's Gwen, everyone says, but it's not spelled like that. But then I think that totally sets it up for him to be with Gwen. But I don't know. This whole series is very controversial.
There's also another theory that Azriel's like, I guess, mate or whatever is in another book series because Thorn of Glass and Crescent City are all interconnected, and people are like, maybe it's it. I haven't read Throne of Glass or Crescent City yet. I know. I'm waiting till I have like time to like devote to it.
No, you have to read Throne of Glass next. Okay, the way I read it, and I honestly think this is the best way, and I've heard a lot of people say it's the best way. I read ACOTAR first, then Throne of Glass, and then I read Crescent City. Oh my God, you have to do it in that order because it just all the pieces come together, and I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
But book 2 of Crescent City is like I'm not saying anything. It's crazy the things that like the way it ends. I was like, oh, I was so shocked. But someone spoiled it for me on TikTok, piece of shit. And I had thought that, because that's why I'm like, I should say spoiler warning. I put it in the caption on YouTube. I was like, don't say I didn't warn you. There's spoilers. Just pause it if you're sensitive. But the ending of it is so just like, I can't even explain it. Like I was like literally like palming my face the whole time. I was like, oh my God, like this is what happened at the end. But I don't want to say anything more.
I feel like I always get spoilers because of TikTok. The amount of like fan art I have seen that have given me spoilers is astounding.
I stopped looking at
I have like a pea-sized brain, so I forget everything. It comes in and it goes out.
Like when I first knew, another spoiler of the first book, that Tamlin wasn't going to be the one. Like I was just waiting for Rhysand the whole time because I knew he wasn't gonna be the one, and I kind of wished I didn't know that. I kind of wished I had rooted for Tamlin a little more. Like I still liked him, I guess, in the first book because you're supposed to, but like by the second one, I was like, obviously it's not. Like once Rhysand came in the first book, like I like knew it was gonna be him. But I don't know. The whole series is pretty controversial. Have you heard about
Why? Why would it be controversial?
Oh, a lot of people don't like Agathar. Like, a lot of people don't like it.
Really?
Yeah, really? You ever
Oh
heard
my
that?
gosh, no.
Oh, every 5 seconds on TikTok, everyone's, like, being like...
I think it's just, like, fun to hate on something that everybody else is liking.
Yeah.
But unpopular opinion about Tamlin, or also known as Tampon,
Yeah.
I want him to have a redemption arc. I want him to go to therapy and get a redemption arc and then become BFFs with Lucian again. That's what I want from him.
Yeah. Everyone thinks that he and Elaine might be together.
No.
Okay, Elaine, I think she gets too much hate for being boring or whatever. I think she's just, like, quiet, and I feel like that's not fair. However, I want Gwen to be with Azriel. I don't know.
Oh, spoiler warning. A theory I saw about Gwen was that she's Tamlin's daughter.
Oh, what?
And so she is going to maybe one day be High Lady of the Spring Court, because here is my, what is it called? Evidence. She says that she was like when babies are made, and on the night of like the magic chose her mom. What happens in the first book? The calamari, the calamare or whatever.
Calamari?
Yeah. I call it the calamari because that's what it looks like to me in my brain. But yeah, so people think that her mom and Tamlin did the deed and out popped Gwen.
See, I don't get a lot of the aging stuff because they all look like they're the same age, don't they? And then they're not. Like,
Tamlin's like 300.
Yeah.
Rysand is like 500.
You call him Rysand?
Rysand? I don't know.
People call him Rice.
Rice.
Or like Reese.
I think it's Reese. Yeah.
It's like Rysand. I've seen in videos of her saying, because I wasn't sure. And she did like a whole pronunciation video. I was really obsessed for a while. Because this was one of the first books that I had read that like had really gotten me into reading. Well, it was like, for me, it was like it was Maze Runner, Red Queen, and then this series. And then I was like, it was my whole personality sense. But yeah, there's a lot of controversy because of some of the ways that she like depicts certain groups of people. I think a lot of the stuff I'm like, that's valid. I don't feel like I have a place to have an opinion on that stuff because I'm just, like,
I don't
a
know
white
enough
person.
evidence or like facts.
But, yeah, but it's definitely good to hear both sides. But like, I'm not gonna feel bad if I like a book. I can be like, yeah, that's a good criticism, but I'm not gonna be like feel guilty. I don't know. I don't know. I should stop talking. But okay, I'm gonna read my next quote or my next 1-star review. Okay. This person said, "This isn't grumpy X sunshine. Stop spreading misinformation. Rather, this is boring X annoying. They were in that regard just right for each other. Romance is so bland, I thought I was going to coma." That's how they wrote it. But yeah, you probably... Okay, think about like grumpy X sunshine books.
I'm thinking like The Love Hypothesis. Isn't that like grumpy X sunshine?
Yeah, that's it.
It is? Okay,
yeah. We're too good at this. Okay, and I didn't know how to do it like without giving it away because some of them will just say either their name or they'll just be like ice skating, and I'm like, okay, well, it's obvious which one that is. But yeah, did you like that book? Would you rate it?
I think I rated it a 4 or a 4.5. I didn't quite understand the hype, but I did thoroughly enjoy it.
I remember like I read this in 2021. I remember like being obsessed with it because I really like Star Wars, and it's just based on their physical descriptions, so Kylo and Rey. But then I hadn't seen that movie in so long, and I like wasn't, maybe I'm a fake fan, but I was like, wait, they're cousins, I think?
Oh.
Is that right? Have you watched Star Wars, Jack?
I have, but I don't remember like a lot of the specific details when it comes to the relations. Like it's all over the place in that franchise now.
It's like I think they're cousins or like something like that.
Yikes.
See, I don't remember either. But I was like, wait a second, am I allowed to root for this? But it's just their physical description, so it counts. But I really like this one. I've read 2 more of her books, and Right now I'm reading Love Theoretically.
Oh, I've heard good things about that one.
I really like it so far. It's really cute. I don't know if I'll like it as much as they are first cousins once removed.
No.
So they are cousins. Okay, so I don't know if I can root for it, but
this is just the info that I found.
Yeah. So I guess they are cousins. Someone had mentioned
though,
that. Yeah.
In my high school, we have like a Hall of Fame, and one of the people in the Hall of Fame wrote fan fiction for Star Wars, and the guy what is his name? Like George or something?
George Lucas.
Yeah, George Lucas. He's like, yeah, that's very accurate. This is canon.
Someone from your school?
Yeah, like a really old guy. Like, he's probably dead by now. But the maker of Star Wars was like, yeah, this fan fiction that this high school student wrote, it's canon.
That's crazy. I sometimes would forget, especially watching the movies growing up, because my dad liked them a lot, but I didn't watch them like religiously. But growing up, I think they're only in like the 70s is the first one?
Yeah, I
or
think
something
so.
like that. I thought they were like child me thought they were like way older than that. Like I don't know what I was thinking. I thought they were so old, and I was like, wait. And then the next one's like the 90s or 2000s something. I don't actually know the dates. I'm probably way off. But they were way more recent than I had thought. Like I just thought they were really old. But I do like have you read Shatter Me? I talked about it too much last time. I'm not talking about it more this time. But the guy Hayden Christensen, everyone fan casts him as Warner. And so I included him in the last YouTube video, but like he is Warner, like young him. I love him. But that's not why I like Star Wars. I like it because I just like space stuff. But anyways, you got that one pretty quickly. Do you want to read yours next?
Yeah, I'll read mine. Let me find it. Okay, it says, ladies, if a man pulls a sad puppy face at you, run as fast as you can.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I feel like I've read somewhere that he had like puppy dog eyes. I feel like I've definitely read that. I will never guess it. What's like another
I'll give
hint?
you a hint. It is Second Chance Friends to Lovers.
I don't know.
It is by Miss Emily Henry.
Oh, is it People We Meet on Vacation?
Mm-hmm.
I loved that book. Did you love it?
No.
What did you rate it?
I rated it like a 4 when I first read it because of all the hype. I was like afraid to speak out against the book girlies.
I do that too.
I think that she's probably like a 2.5 or a 3 for me.
I think I give that 5.
I don't like Poppy. She rubbed me the wrong way. If I saw Poppy in real life, it would be a fight.
You know what's crazy? This is like slightly off topic, but like I feel like nowadays a lot of characters are named Poppy. Like I can name 3 off that book, From Blood and Ash, and then there's like the Unhoneymooners. I think her name is. Oh no, that's Olive. Olive and Poppy. Olive and Poppy. I've gotten a
chokehold on the authors.
There was another male name. I was like, Jesus, like Sebastian or something. That one is popular too, and I'm like, where did that come from? Like I don't know, but sorry, keep going. Whatever you're saying, you hate it.
Oh yeah, I did not like it. I don't like it when authors are like, oh, this is a quirky girl. Like, oh, she's just so quirky. She's not like the other girls. And that's how Poppy very much came off as for me. And I think she was a bad friend to Alex.
Really?
I really liked Alex. I thought he was so wholesome and cute. Now, did he have some issues?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's part of every book. They're supposed to have issues.
I just think it's weird that he basically emotionally cheated on his girlfriend, his long-term girlfriend with Poppy throughout the relationship. That I hate the cheating trope. If I see any ounce of it, I'm out the door. Yeah, like
any day I can do murder is more forgivable than cheating. Like,
no, for real.
Not to I don't want to spoil this. Okay, what do you know about Aaron Warner?
I know that
that he's bad.
Yeah,
Can I
he's
just tell you
like a morally great character.
Okay, this is like obvious. I'm not giving very many details, but he kills somebody. That's not a spoiler.
Right.
That's just what every bad villain does. And he kills somebody, but later on you find out it's like, oh, the guy was like, the guy he killed was like abusing his family. He was terrible. He was doing it for the girl or something like that. And I'm like, I can excuse it.
No,
but I
with
can't
my
excuse
current
cheating.
read, yeah.
Because it's like a moral. Okay, not that killing someone isn't moral.
But he had the reasons, and it's a fantasy world. So, like, what is murder?
I don't know where the logic comes really behind it, but like everyone I feel like agrees that cheating is worse than killing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what the logic is because I'm like, yeah, one is definitely worse, but like cheating is like, you can't really fix. It's not easily explainable. Like, there's no explanation. Murder, there is an explanation sometimes.
Right.
Okay.
No,
you didn't hear that from me. Wait, what are you currently reading?
With Haunting Adeline, I don't know if you knew much about it, but he is a stalker, essentially.
I knew that,
So, trigger warning. But he tries to capture, like, child predators and child rapists and stuff. So he's basically trying to take down human trafficking because he's, like, a bajillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, he's a stalker? But, like, he hates human trafficking?
I guess.
Like, what a green flag.
You know what you would like is this. Have you read the Predator series by Rune?
No, I'm worried about that because it's third POV. And I don't like third POV.
Really?
It, like, freaks me out.
I'm writing a book and it's in third POV.
Yeah. I don't know if I read it. I don't know if I'll give it a read. No, I will.
If I ever finish it, though, probably won't anytime soon. But it is similar. Like, yeah, he's bad, and the whole book he's like literally threatening to murder her.
Which is so hot.
Yeah, I guess.
When he wants to murder you, what a green flag.
I know, and but he's like, also trying to take down like human trafficking ring, and he's like looking for his sister and stuff, but like I'm like, am I supposed, what is it with all these authors trying to like twist my perception of things? Like
morally gray.
I know, but like why do I like it? Like it's
because it's fun. It's different. This is the thing. You would never like date someone in real life that actually did that. It's like the whole fantasy, like fiction version. Like I think it's totally fine.
Do you have a boyfriend, don't you?
Yes.
Do you
long-term relationship?
One of the few book girlies, I feel. But what do you like talk to him a lot about? Like, the book boys you're reading?
Oh yeah.
What does he say?
Oh my gosh. He thinks it's funny. He's
Really?
like, "Oh, what did your book boyfriend do today?"
Oh
like,
my god.
I'm like, "Oh, he took down a bunch of pedophiles." Like, what do you mean? Like,
what are you doing?
What are you doing, Nolan Allwart?
Oh my god, just outed his name.
Yeah, he probably won't. Actually, he probably will watch this.
He should watch it, just for you. That's so funny. Okay, so what were we talking about? The Emily Henry book.
Oh yeah, what did you think about it?
I remember really liking it, but I'll do this thing where I'll see like someone on TikTok. They'll say some really valid points how it was trash, and I'm like, all right, I'll take it down a star. I'm like, fair enough. But I really want to stop doing that because I'm like, I rate books based on feelings, not on like intellectual whatever.
That's how I am.
Value. Not that this book isn't like valuable, but like I really rate it on like, it made me feel like there's a certain feeling that is 5-star and there's a certain feeling that's 4-star and like down. But like I rarely get the 5-star ones when I'm like, I can't put it down. Like I can't stop reading. I remember really liking the way it ended. One of my Instagram photos, like I captioned it with like, I'm like, it was the end of our my study abroad, and I was leaving all my friends, and we're all really sad. And I posted a bunch of photos, and I was like, "It's about the people we meet on vacation," because it's like it wasn't like the trip; it was like all of our friends and stuff. So, that book really resonated with me. I have not read it in a long time, so if I did reread it, which I usually don't reread books,
I don't either.
They never hit the same the second time. I listened to the ACOTAR graphic audio book. Have you listened to that?
No.
Really? It's on Hoopla, I think. You get it free if you have a library card. But it's free on there, and it's like all these sound effects and when they're fighting these creatures and stuff.
I think someone uploaded it to YouTube because
Really?
I listened to it for the first book because the first book was so hard to get into.
Yeah, it is. That's why I'm like, I always tell people I want them to read it. I'm like, it might be not good at first, but like, you'll love it, I swear, later on. And I have to like convince, like my sisters, I got them to read it. The last episode I talked about how my sisters are like, illiterate and they don't read anything that I give them, literally. So rude. But I showed it to them and they thought it was funny, so it's fine. I can call them that. But they don't take any of my book recommendations, but they both read ACOTAR, like the whole thing. And my sister's like, I love Nesta by like the last book.
Oh, I love Nesta.
I loved her by the end because I'm like, she was the only one. I mean, not the only one, but she was so real. Like,
yes.
She was mean and like she did mistakes, but like by the end, like she had a journey and like I felt like she was the one who like had a bit, like who traveled a long way. And that's why I liked her so much. I hate it when people are like, Elena's boring, Nesta's a bitch. It's like, maybe so, but like you have to, that's how people are in the real world. Like not everyone's a Feyre. Like,
right. Like I wouldn't be a Feyre. I wouldn't like go into the trials to like proclaim my love. No, I'm Nesta. I'm sitting at home drinking.
Like I felt like I resonated so much with Nesta, especially like with like the stuff, like the issues she was struggling with. Because by the end I was like, wow, I really felt like a lot of the stuff she felt. And like, because she did make like real mistakes. And I was like, damn, like she really messed up. But like, they were all out of a place of like either grief or like she didn't know how to cope, or she was just like reacting to like her own situation. And yeah, there was definitely stuff that she did wrong and like could have done better. But like, I really liked her because I felt like, you know, I don't know, I just felt like she was so real.
I know. I honestly can't understand why people don't enjoy her. I get it. She was a bitch. She was. And she still is. But she is that bitch. And that's the difference.
I mean, nobody can say that they've not been a bitch before. So it's kind of like,
I just love her
like,
so much.
And then all the stuff she does, this is a spoiler for ACOTAR. Like, I already said that. So if you haven't read ACOTAR, then you shouldn't have been listening this far anyways. But like when she goes through all of the trials and she has like the found sisters, my older sister was like, I love that part when she like had her own sisters. And I was like kind of head scratching because I'm like, she already had sisters.
No, but this is the thing. The one thing that like really spoke out to me was that Nesta has created her own friend group. Whereas Feyre kind of piggybacked onto Rysand's friend group, and a lot of her relationships depend on her relationship with Rysand. And so that like I really liked the aspect of, oh, Nesta found her own people.
I also didn't like, big spoiler for like the last book with Nesta's and Cassian's book, but like when Rhys is hiding Feyre's like dangerous pregnancy or something.
I think that's so out of character for him.
I did too, and they solved it too fast. That should not have been a plot point. Like they should have just been like they're struggling with a pregnancy together, and that should have been the plot. Not that he's hiding it from her, because then she like literally just forgives him. Like Feyre just forgives him for keeping that from her, and I'm like, that is so bad. You're right. It was so out of character.
I think it's so out of character because Rysand. Sorry. I like say it interchangeably because
everyone
says it so differently. But he gives off pro-choice vibes.
Yeah.
Like very much so. So I think it's so out of character that he wouldn't have told Feyre the struggles or like the, what is it called? Like the dangers of Fae pregnancy.
Well, that's what you get
before
when you,
they even
like,
started
fuck in the
trying.
sky. Like
Yeah, that's what you get.
Like, I mean, a lot of people didn't like that, and I don't know who, but someone on TikTok was like, "There's no way in real life, none of this is real, but that like he would have been able to like have just had he basically had no consequence. She just like forgave him,
Right?
And like she was mad at him for a little bit, but Nesta was the one who told Feyre like, they're all keeping this from you, like this is what, and you know. Everyone was like mad at Rhys, was like, I'm gonna kill her. But it's like, no, she was right. She deserved, and I don't get like if Feyre was mad at her for a little bit too, Nesta, for telling her.
Right.
Maybe I'm recalling that wrong. But I was kinda like,
but she was also grateful that she was told.
I just think it was like Cassian said it, he was like, I think in Nesta's own way she thought she was helping. And that was the first time I feel like I remember seeing someone like take Ness aside and like try to understand her a little bit. Everyone's just like, she's a drunk, she's just sleeping around. It's like, so what? Like,
okay,
just
but
let her exist.
They also that's the other thing. I feel like people forget that the inner circle are like hundreds of years old.
No way they didn't do that.
The Archeron sisters are like 19, 20, 21. Like,
yeah.
It's going to take them a little bit longer to cope with things because they haven't lived as long as you guys. And this is the thing. Cassian is like, yeah, I decimated my home village and blah, blah, blah. Like, why is nobody giving him some hate? Like, even though I love Cassian,
he did
so don't
what?
give him hate.
I don't remember that.
Because his mom was treated badly or something, so he went and killed the village that his mom lived in. Like,
fair enough. It's like I feel like with Sarah J. Maas, like a lot of the times with the big villain group, you'll see this in Throne of Glass too. It's like the entire enemy force, they're all just evil. Like, especially in the last battle of ACOTAR, in the third book, where they're doing the battle, it's just like, you just have to assume every single one of Highburn, whatever, they're all just evil. So, which is kind of like, I don't know, I guess they're the enemy, like, fair enough.
I didn't think Highburn was that scary. Amaranthia scared me.
Amaranthia?
Yeah, the...
Amarantha?
Amarantha? I don't know. I don't know how to say any words. I go into fantasy reads purely for the vibes. You think I actually understand what I'm reading?
Have you read The Song of Achilles?
No.
Okay, well, they have a lot of, obviously, Greek names in there, and I let my grandma read it, or I tried to get her to read it, and she's like, I couldn't figure out Patroclus or whatever. And I was like, come on, there were harder, like Agamemnon. And I was like, there were harder ones for you to not get. But names are definitely like, that's something I'm like worried about naming in my book. But my advisor, I'm working on, like my English honors project is to write my book with my advisor. And I was like, I'm thinking about changing the spelling of this one character. But she's like, no, don't. Like, people figure it out. I was like, you're right. I guess I'll just leave it. But like names are something I struggle with a lot, but because like then everyone talks about it. Have you heard? This is like a little off topic too. With no one knows Reese's last name.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard the theory that
that's like a big thing?
I don't think this is true, but I would like it if it's true. Everyone thinks that his last name could be Darling because he calls her Feyre Darling.
That. Yeah.
I don't like that last name so much for him. I don't feel like it fits.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's going to be revealed. I feel like it's a big secret. I feel like I don't know why, because I think it's I can't say. But the way things are connecting.
I think it's going to interconnect with the other series somehow.
I agree. And I'm like, how long has she been thinking about this stuff?
Sarah scares me. She actively scares me.
See, but I want to write stuff like that so badly. Like, I want to be able to do that and make people gasp and like.
No, I love all the theories. There's a theory that Tamlin and what is her name? Amarantha are mates. And that's why he was so depressed. Not because of Feyre, but because what's her face died. And that's why she was so like obsessed with Tamlin and trying to like get him and be with him or whatever because they were mates.
I didn't get Amarantha's like infatuation with Rhys and Tamlin. I'm like, what do you like? Yeah, she's just messing with him, but she like genuinely, I feel like cared about their opinions and like if they liked her, sort of.
I don't know.
Like I feel like she was messing with him too much. I'm like, what do you care so much?
Male validation.
Yeah, or something. I don't know. She was caring too much. I was really suspicious. That could be true. Everyone says that, like, you know, it's different. Like, Feyre's Beauty and the Beast, and then and then Gwen is Ariel. Elaine is Sleeping Beauty. I don't actually know, but I'm like,
I have seen that
Nesta?
she's Sleeping Beauty.
Who's Nesta? Who is Rhys? Azriel? Who are they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who's Cassian? Like, I don't. So I'm like, okay, I guess they're supposed to be. Like, it's definitely Beauty and the Beast. And Gwen she has to be Ariel. She has red hair. Like, everyone's been saying that. I don't know. But there's a lot of fan theories about stuff. Is it my turn next for?
Yes.
Okay. I almost said the name. That's not good. Okay. This is just a modern take on the white girl is very special, but no one knows why, and has to choose between two virtually identical white boys who are both in love with her for some reason. Whatever will she do? ? Also, I don't care about billionaires, so can someone give me 5 reasons as to why I read this?
Oh, so it's a billionaire romance.
Perhaps.
2. Oh, is this the Inheritance Games?
Yeah. By Jenny
I also had a
Lombards.
quote from them, so I'm not going to use it.
You should say it still.
It was like, oh, what in the Vampire Diaries is
Oh,
this?
yeah.
No, no, no.
I saw that too. We literally picked the same ones. There were so many books. We exchanged Goodreads so we could like look at each other's thing. And I don't know how many books I read, like 200 or 300, and same for you. And we picked all of the same ones.
I tried to pick like current ones because I did see that you read The Red Queen, but I read that like in middle school.
I read that I told you that was at the beginning of my I probably would have gotten it. But you've read that. Have you you've read Fourth Wing, right? I think I saw. Okay, you want to hear this comparison? This is a spoiler for both books. So this is my comparison between the two. A girl who is short, a girl who has lightning powers, a girl who has gray-tipped ends on her hair, a girl whose brother is in some kind of, gets lost in the war, is in some kind of rebellion, dies at the end, gets found at the end, and then is like later gonna die. Wait, am I talking about Fourth Wing? Yeah.
Yeah. That's basically, what's her name? I forget her name.
Wait.
Violet?
Yeah. Does Violet have a brother?
Yeah.
I'm getting them mixed up. Yeah, so there's too many. I'm like, it was the gray tipped hair for me. Like, I was like, that is too similar.
You didn't like Fourth Wing, did you?
I thought it was overhyped. I love dragons and stuff like that. Like, the premise was really cool. Oops. And I just remember everyone's like, this is the new Reese, and this is this.
I do love Xaden.
I liked him. He wasn't like my fave. He wasn't bad. I liked him. I was just kind of like, okay. I've seen this story so many times before. I felt like, with like, or like, the billionaire romance, or like the fine print, and like the twisted series, and all of those, they just read the same for me nowadays. Like, I just feel like I've read everything, and that's not true. I have not read everything. But I said that last time. I was like, I feel like I've read every book ever. It's like, no, I haven't. But like, they just all read the same to me now, and I'm kind of like ready for, like, they're all the guys are the same. They all do the same thing. There's always a third act breakup. There's always like some rebellion. But Fourth Wing and Red Queen were so similar. I was like shocked. But I don't know. Nobody else seemed to get that but me.
I never finished the Red Queen series. I read like the first few books, but I was reading it while they were coming out.
Oh.
And then I just never got like the new books. But I did remember really liking it, but people hate on Red Queen.
People do.
Yeah, they don't like it.
Okay, my trio of like unproblematic authors is Victoria Aveyard, Stephanie Garber, and Tahira Mafi, who wrote Shatter Me. Do you know Stephanie Garber's Broken Part? You know that. We'll talk about that later. That's another episode with Jax. Oh, I love him. He's like Warner. I'm telling you, if you like Jax, you will like.
They're both blonde men.
In books, everyone jokes like they like the dark hair guys and they don't like the blonde guys. But I'm like, my like 3 favorite guys, Jax, Peeta, and Warner, they're all blonde. I'm like, something about it. I don't know.
I don't mind blonde fictional men, but if a real man that was blonde came up to me, I would probably run the other direction.
Jack is like, shut up. I feel like I just couldn't, because it would like, I have blonde hair and I'm like, you look like
I'm talking about like bleach blonde, like, cause like Jack is like a light blonde. Okay, no hate.
Jack, you need to cut to yourself
hate,
so people
Jack.
can see what you look like.
You're a dirty blonde. He's a dirty blonde. That's socially acceptable.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not naturally, obviously blonde. I mean, when I was a kid, I had like white blonde, like not really, but like really blonde hair, and so now it's dirty blondes, and I fake it. But I think it's something about it. Like, it's just those 3. There was a 4th one. I was like, yeah, him too. Like, I forgot about him. Have you read The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra?
No.
I feel like you would have read that. I feel like
I wasn't really like a big fantasy girly like back in the day. I kind of was, but not really.
You
Mostly
missed your
dystopian.
window, I think, for that.
Yeah.
Like for
middle school, junior high.
Yeah, like I read that, I think, okay, in 2020, I was basically still in middle school, high school, okay? Like my mentally, so I was reading all this stuff, I was like, I love it. But I feel like you might have missed your window. You could probably read it and still like it, but like, that was probably like my fourth series after Red Queen. Then I think it was this one, and then I think it was ACOTAR, like The Mortal Instruments by Cassandra
So
Clare.
you started off with like fantasy. I didn't start off with fantasy when I got back into reading.
Mm-hmm.
I was a romance girly.
Well, okay, I used to be like, I used to never read, but in middle school, I was like, I read the Selection series.
Oh, I
like,
love the Selection series.
Oh my god, that took over my life. So I'm like, no, I was always book girly. Like I just didn't know it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't think there were. I don't know why. I must have been stupid or something, but I didn't think about exploring other books because I love the Selection so much. I was like, okay, it didn't even cross my mind that I could read another book.
So you just kept rereading the Selection?
No, I think I only read it twice. And then recently, when I was studying abroad, I found it was on Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a read.
Did it hit? Oh, no.
It's a window. I'm telling you, a lot of these books have a window. Like with Percy Jackson, I missed my window for that.
Yeah.
And I still have read the whole thing, but people are like, now I can still read it and love it. I'm like, no, I missed my window. It was just too, like, about kids for me.
Yeah.
It was fine. I probably would have loved it. My older sister, maybe, I think she said read it, and she loved it. I'm like, I just missed my window. Like, it's kind of sad.
That's why I can't read a lot of YA. I get so picky when I'm reading YA because I'm like, I'm not the target audience, so I don't want to put myself in that position and then not like it because that's fully on me.
I feel a little sad now because I'm like, I can still read YA, but like, I feel like I am older than all of these people now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is kind of sad. Like,
I'm like, she's 16. She's the only person that can save the world. I'm like, I am 20.
I'm like, nah, no, because as I've been writing my book, I've been writing it since 2020. Like, I was in high school still.
Oh, yeah.
It's a completely different story. But like, as the character, I was 17 when I started. I'm 21 now. So I'm like, it's so funny. It's like, as the characters, like, as I write it, like, the characters always like age up with me, and I'm like, I need to stop at a certain point. Like, they can't keep getting older with me. But like, I think she was probably 17 when I first started. Like, it's so weird to me because I'm like, I don't even know like, I don't feel like I can get into a 17-year-old's head. Like, if I were to write a book about a 17-year-old, like, I don't think I could do it. Like, even though it was not even that long ago. I feel like I'm like, I don't even remember what it's like.
Yeah, I barely remember high school, even though I do say I'm a perpetual teenage girl because sometimes when people come up to me and they're like, oh, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 16. I'm 16. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not.
Sometimes I'm like, you have to, for certain things, I don't know, it's like you have to be 18. I don't know what I'm talking about. But like for certain things, just like you have to be 18. And I'm like, yeah, I'm 18. Yeah. But I mean like over 18, but I'm like, in my head, I'm like, wait, I'm not 18 anymore.
Perpetual teenage
like,
girl.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm just not mentally there sometimes.
So
you should read. Was that your last quote with the Inheritance Games, the last one?
That was your quote.
I know, but didn't you say you picked one that was also?
Oh, no. I had backup ones because I figured we would overlap.
Okay, yeah.
I came prepared.
I did not, so that's good.
Oh, hold on. That was a repeat. I will say this, though. Okay, this is a repeat, though. He had her whole boob in her mouth. Yeah. I'm scared.
That's a love hypothesis.
Yeah.
Because I was going over that one, too, and I saw that, and I was like,
I thought it was so funny.
I was like, I don't think she would get that. That's so funny. Have you seen the thing that's like, have you seen the comparison where like Donkey from Shrek is like, okay, I'll have to show you this later, but there's a scene where Adam in the Love Hypothesis, he's like, can I fuck you, please? And the donkey from Shrek, he was like, can I something, please? He like said it with the same intonation. Everyone does like a voiceover of, so everyone kind of makes fun of it for that, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, that joke does not land. But so that was the Love Hypothesis. Did you have anything else? It's okay if not.
Okay, let me look. Oh, this says, fuck you. I wanted to be happy. This book made me sad and annoyed. Give me the next one right now or else.
I feel like I read that when I was going over.
I feel like it's very
Quotes.
blatant. What's a book that made you so sad? And there's a third book, but it isn't out yet.
Oh, Once Upon a Broken Heart?
Yeah.
Caraval?
The Ballad of Never After, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I threw my book across the room when I finished it. I was so angry.
Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna save another episode. Maybe we can save like another episode for the Knock 'Em Out series and Once Upon a Broken Heart. We can talk about those.
To be continued.
But, because the third book of the Once Upon a Broken Heart, if you don't know, Caraval is a trilogy, and then there's a spin-off series. It's gonna be another trilogy. Oh my god, I love the second spin-off trilogy with Jax and Evangeline way more. Like it's like maybe it's in my top. Like I don't know. I just love this book so much.
Well, when I first read The Ballad of Never After, I rated it like a 4.5. I think it's like a 6-star read for me. Because
you changed your mind.
Yeah, because like I just continually just kept thinking about the book and the characters, and like for me, that means that it's like top tier.
I just love her I was looking up 1-star reviews for Caraval.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't end up picking that one.
I'm surprised. I bet it's all like he dated her grandma.
Everyone basically was like saying her writing was like it didn't make sense. It didn't this,
it
and
didn't
I was
make
like
sense.
The way she wrote, she was like glitter like shards of glass, or she would just say like weird descriptions. But that was like part of it, and I was like, yeah, that's cool, whatever.
The vibes. I just
was like, I love this book so much. I don't know. I read Caraval in one sitting.
Oh yeah,
the first time I read it. I think I gave it 5.
I think I gave it a 4.
It was
5.
I feel like it was a 4.5 for me when I finished it, because it like almost had the feeling of I loved it, and I read it really fast. But like the second one with Tella, I liked more. And then the third one, Finale, I like had a hard time getting through that one.
Really? See,
There
that
was a
one
big
like
slow
really got me. See, I don't think I rated any of the individual books 5 stars, but it is a 5-star series in my opinion. Which
What's the math behind
I don't
that?
know. Girl math? It's girl math in my head.
Yeah, I get that with Once Upon a Broken Heart, The Ballad of Never After. When I was in Italy, I got a version of that that's all in Italian. It's of the first book, Once Upon a Broken Heart. So I have like, and it has like coral sprayed edges, and it's like really fancy looking. So I have 3 of those. I have like so many copies, but usually I'm not the kind of person who has multiple copies of things. I've seen a lot of people have that, but I'm like, where's the money coming from?
No,
like,
for real.
Who's funding this? Like, I don't have the money for that, so except for this one book. Like, that's how I know it's special to me. Is like,
no, that's how I feel about the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, because I'm like, I don't buy multiple copies of books. I just don't, because economically I can't do that. And the UK covers are gorgeous. I don't know if you've seen
with the
them.
knights on
yes,
them? Yeah,
just so beautiful. That is the only series where I'm like, I kind of want to buy the extra copies.
I was talking about this with my friend, but she would never get it. But it's like, imagine my shock reading a YA series, Caraval 1, 2, and 3, and then there's a second trilogy of, book 1 and 2. And then it gets to something like not YA, like spicy stuff, and it's not that, but like I was like,
it was kind of spicy.
My jaw dropped because it said like his hand like touched or something. I was like, I gasped because it had been YA up to this point, and I was like, Stephanie, what are you doing? I'm so excited for the third one.
I'm excited. They haven't ever kissed. I saw that on TikTok. They're like, they've never kissed.
That is true. He can't kiss anybody.
He can't kiss anybody. And I hate when people are like, I want Donatella to come back. No, she's happy with the legend. Leave her out of this.
I really wanted her to be with Jax.
Really?
In the third one, I just love Jax so much.
I do love Jax.
Maybe it wasn't like I liked them together. I felt like
you just wanted him to be happy.
The book is called Legendary. Like, she had to be with Legend.
Right.
However, I really just like Jax. I wanted them to be together. And then when they weren't, I was like, damn. Like, that really sucks. But you should read that series if you haven't. It's one of my all-time favorites. Something about just the writing and like the whimsical.
It's just so good.
There's like literally nothing I can compare it to like give you a comparison. But like,
I just love Jax so much.
I know.
Put that man in any book and I will read it.
Okay, my one stipulation is okay, this is not real life, so like maybe this doesn't matter, but like I just can't picture him like, okay, picture two people in a relationship and they're like, they talk to each other about everything and like that's just like a normal relationship. But like I can't picture Jax ever opening up to her about like anything, like him having like.
Really? I feel like he already kind of has.
Maybe I haven't read
a little
it
bit
recently. I just can't picture him being like a boyfriend. And he's not going to be like that ever, but like you kill anybody for her. But like I just can't picture him like telling his like being like maybe I can.
Emotionally available?
Maybe I can. It's just I think in the third book is really gonna hammer it home like
I'm so worried about the
he's
third
like
book.
feral. You haven't read the third book of okay, yeah. You haven't read the third book about the Knock 'Em Out series, but
no, not yet.
I'm not telling.
I've heard mixed opinions. Honestly, I'm really scared.
I loved it because okay, Sloane is like a book. She's a librarian. She has blonde hair and she's short. So I'm like, she's just like
she's
me.
just you.
She's just like me, and I love Lucian, but yeah. So do you have okay? How I ended it last time was I said, give me like your next. I gave my next book recommendation, which is the Knock 'Em Out series. Would you like to end with like your book recommendation?
Okay. I don't think you've read this, so take this to heart.
Okay.
The Serpent and the Wings of Night.
I have not read
Just
that.
a little blurb. It is basically Hunger Games, but with vampires, and it is the best thing I have ever read. It's probably one of my top tier fantasy reads.
Nice. Okay. Well, I will have to read that next, but that is basically all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Grace for coming on. Make sure to follow her on Instagram. And thank you to Jack, too. But yeah, you can watch this on YouTube, and it's going to be on Spotify and anywhere else you get your podcasts. But yeah, thanks.